So I'm starting the record and I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. Good morning. It's Saturday, April 17th. I want to thank you all for joining us on the Michigan District of Kiwanis Cafe. My name is Sue Peterson, and I am the Leadership Education Coordinator for the Michigan District. And we're happy that you have joined us today to learn a little bit more about service. Our first program this morning includes our district project, the Michigan District Project, called Children Are Our Future. And it's my honor to present to you Governor Fran Babbage from the Kiwanis Club of Allen Park, Michigan, and her team, who will talk about the Children Are Our Future project that the Michigan District has undertaken this year. So with that, Governor Fran.
Welcome. Just for those of you that don't know where Allen Park is, it's about 10 miles downriver from Detroit, and it's the home of the Detroit Lions. But just giving you a side fact, it really is the home of the sign of the Detroit Lions. The practice field is actually in Dearborn. When they did it, it was supposed to be on one side of the river or on the other side. When they finally got the plans done, it turned out the actual practice field is in Dearborn, but we get the naming rights. So it's the home of the Detroit Lions. Now, today we're going to be talking about our Children of the Future project. And this is the patch that you can get if you complete the requirements. And I'm going to introduce our two co-chairs. Our first co-chair is Marian O'Higgins, and she's a past governor of the Michigan Kiwanis. She cannot be with us today, so we'll talk with her later. Then our other co-chair is Nancy Memmer, and she is the Division 6 Lieutenant Governor, and she's the wife of the past governor, Larry Memmer. And Nancy's going to explain to us about the project.
Thank you, Fran. Back in March of 2020, Marion and Fran and I sat in Fran's kitchen, and Fran said, I want to do a project that does something with 0 to 5-year-olds. So we gave it some thought, and we thought about the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to focus on 0 to 5-year-olds. We wanted to encourage clubs to do a hands-on project. We wanted it to be a new project, something they hadn't done before. And we wanted to have them raise awareness as to what Kiwanis is in their communities, as well as becoming more aware of the needs of their own community. And we decided that it would be good if they could even maybe work with other agencies if there's something in their community where there's a need with another agency. And we wanted to challenge these clubs to be creative. And I have to tell you, at the end of that day, the three of us were just so excited. We just knew we had just the perfect formula. We knew we had everything in line, and we were very excited. And 2 days later, the governor of Michigan shut down the state. So that meant that over the last year, we've also had to revise a few of our plans as far as what were going to be the entire requirements. And the other thing that we talked about is that we need to challenge the clubs to look at their children's needs. Next slide, Fran.
Sorry.
And we wanted to help clubs find resources to serve children and their parents. And that's an important part of this segment, was that we also wanted them to look at what parents know about parenting, what they could use some help with. So that was another component that we were going to say that clubs could also be involved with. One of the reasons that we chose 0 to 5 is because Kiwanis already has a lot of programs for other children. We have Terrific Kids, we have Builders Club, we have K Kids, we have Circle K, we have Key Club, but we don't have anything that really meets the needs of that population. So that was one of the reasons Fran wanted to focus on that group. And as we sat there, we talked about the fact that we make a promise when we join Kiwanis that we're going to help improve the world, one child and one community at a time. And we feel that this project fits right into that promise. Okay, so the purpose is to encourage our members to get out into the communities and join in helping children. That was a pretty easy purpose. And then what we did is we broke it down into segments, because we thought maybe if we gave clubs a little more direction, they would choose one area that they really liked. And one was working with pregnant mothers and unborn children. The second one was birth to 2-year-olds, then the 2 to 3-year-olds, those fun little toddlers, and then the 3 to 5-year-olds, who we call the preschool children.
We're going to give you examples of the projects that are being done, but we realize that we don't have all the projects there, so don't feel bad if we missed your project, or if, what we're trying to do is give you ideas of projects. The first one was many clubs did diaper drives, and this is probably because of this time of unemployment and COVID. Diapers are in high demand, but they're not covered by food stamps. So the parents really needed diapers. So we have a lot of groups that did this. Many clubs did diaper drives during the time. They also did, one whole division is doing a big diaper drive. They're going to, it's called No Child Wet Behind, and they're doing a whole division group. Other clubs have partnered with local churches and helped do diaper drives. They have provided, this is some of the things they provided, the different diapers, different food things that they're able to do. And most clubs, a lot of clubs are doing this all the way through August 31st. So they're doing the diaper drive. Another one is that they're doing, this one club, if you notice the baby bottles, they're actually collecting money in little baby bottles. And why they're doing this is they're going to help with the maternal infant health program, and that they're going to be able to get ultrasound machines for the mothers that are pregnant and be able to do that. There also are, one club is supporting what's called the Kiwanis House, and it's a help teen mothers who are homeless or living in unsafe environments, and it's to help them learn parenting skills and personal growth skills. Some clubs have started making baby blankets, the little tight ones at the fleece blankets, and this group actually used a key club to help them make the blankets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nancy will explain the quilts.
Yes, and then there are some clubs that are working on quilts. And a couple of years ago, I introduced the Preemie Pals to the Kiwanis in Michigan, the Kiwanis members. And so some clubs are still working on making quilts for the Preemie Pal group, which are sent then to Mott Hospital to the Brandon Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. And then another group that we have out there is working, oh, next slide, Fran. There we go. Are giving out winter hats, scarves, and gloves. They had a big drive. People in the community helped to donate to this drive, and then they were given away to various families who needed them. And there was another club kind of along this idea who did shoes and boots for children. You can see the picture of the shoes and the boots. And another club had a huge drive for socks. You can see there's a huge pile of socks there. And I honestly don't know where they sent the socks, but I believe that they probably sent them to some of the food banks and the preschools and the churches in the community where there was a need. I know with the boots and shoes, they actually found children who needed shoes and boots through the schools, and they got the sizes that they needed and purchased them directly for a certain child, which was very nice. We also, at Christmas time, there were a number of clubs who did Christmas presents, either through Toys for Tots or for working with foster children through churches or through other church groups, and made sure that all children had a nice gift or two under the tree for them at Christmas time.
Okay. One group actually is working with the program called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and it's actually making beds for children that don't have beds, and they're also providing bedding for them. So this is a project that is ongoing, that they can donate their time to help make the beds, or they can deliver the beds and the bedding to for the children, so they have their own bed to sleep in. Another group at Christmas time, it's always everybody wants to do things at Christmas. This club did a Santa mailbox in town, and then they got the letters and they wrote letters back to all the children that put in the notes for Santa. Another group did something similar, but it was with snowmen. They had snowmen cut out. The kids could decorate the snowman paper. Then they asked them to write letters to senior citizens, and then they delivered the letters to the seniors. So this was a fun group thing that they got the artistic ability to the children also. And okay, with this one, there hundreds and hundreds of books have been delivered to various clubs. There's many clubs that have done books. They've done books where they've given them to local hospitals so that somebody could read to the child when they're in the hospital. There's some that have given hundreds of books to preschool programs. They've also donated books to a program called Reach Out and Read, and that's for families that are on Medicaid and for people that English is not their primary language. And they collected many books and gave them out. One club is actually working on developing a literacy program for the children. Also, they did hundreds of bookmarks, and they distributed and they gave out the hundreds of bookmarks in the process. One club actually is giving out this book. There was a cold lady who swallowed some snow. They also knitted hats for the children, and the club actually did a videotape of this or recorded it so that they could play it on Zoom or on a video machine, that they'd be able to see the story read to them, and they got the hats for it. Another group let's go through this. Another group did handouts where they had a public library. The kids could check out books in the public library, but they did little handouts for the children to do little worksheets. So they gave them the worksheets, and then they had the books to go with the books. Another group was fostering an art program where they're teaching the children more about art, and it's going to the young foster children. We also have groups that actually were reading going to the preschools and reading to the children, or reading online with Zoom. One group actually also went through and did a lot of PPE supplies. They got masks and sanitizers and TLC bags and gave them to the nursery schools or the daycare, so the children had these.
And then another project that some of the clubs did, I'm not sure how many, but there were some clubs that did this emergency sticker. And this is to be put in the car seat of a child in case of an emergency. Hopefully it will never be needed, but it can be put somewhere where it's not readily available by someone walking by, but would certainly be good information in case of an emergency if the parents are unable to answer questions for the emergency personnel. They have the information and they can call the various sources. And also, I know our club did this, and we suggested that if parents wanted to do, instead they could put it on the refrigerator under a magnet, so that if there's a babysitter in the home and there's an emergency situation, that information is also readily available. And then we had some groups that worked with pregnant mothers to teach them about safe sleep for their children. And they gave them this booklet about safe sleep, as well as another group that did care packages for pregnant women through the OB/GYN offices. And in there they had the little prong things you put in light sockets so that the babies can't be injured, and little night lights. And they put in some emergency stickers and also some pamphlets and things on caring for your newborn baby.
A lot of clubs got carried away at Easter. And so there are many projects for Easter projects. And this one here was actually a drive-through event. They gave them balloon animals. They did a car bingo card to them. They gave them treats, and so that they could just drive through and get these. Another group went through and actually were making Easter baskets. They had hundreds of Easter baskets they got donated. They had stuffed animals and candy in them. And I think what was really cute is they also put a toothbrush and toothpaste in every basket. So they worked together. As you can see, they did the safe distancing and they worked together, and they actually created 300 Easter baskets that were delivered to various organizations that were going to be giving them out to the children. And like I said, there are a lot of groups did these. There are a lot of groups that worked on Easter things.
Mhm. And then there were pillowcases, and all kids love to get a new pillowcase. One group actually did pillowcases that said "My Reading Pillow," so that when kids are maybe in their bed and curled up with their pillow, they've got a reading pillow to read with. And other groups, next slide, there we go, made pillowcases that they delivered to the various hospitals, because as we all know, hospitals are very kind of sterile and boring places, and sometimes just a bright pillowcase can make a world of difference. And I think, yep, there's the next picture. They're showing some of the pillowcases that this particular Kiwanis Club made.
Okay, this one is one division, Division 1, is doing a whole division project. And what they're going to be doing is their May 23rd is a citywide farm market event that they do in the citywide. So they're going to do projects for the children. So one group, one club is setting up a children identification and fingerprinting station. And they're having 9/11 information. And they're also having the canine dog, Max, be with them and see that. Whoops, let me get back here. I hit my button too hard. Another group is actually going to have the fire department there, and they're going to do fire safety, and they're going to be giving out smoke detectors and child-size fireman hats. A third group is going to be demonstrating and helping children learn how to grow food items from seeds. They're going to do garlic, they're talking about. I said, I hope they have some other vegetables they're doing, but they're going to be showing them how to plant seeds and give them seeds that they can plant. Another group is going to do an exercise program, and they're going to do games, and they're going to give them superhero masks and give them stickers for participating in the exercise program. A last group of that group is handing out books and reading the children's book, Dancing Monkeys in My Soup. And the author will be there to autograph the book. They're going to be handing out bananas because it goes along with the book theme. They're going to be handing out jump ropes and sidewalk chalk. So it should be a definitely big citywide project that they're planning to do. Another club is creating an obstacle course for children from 0 to 5. They're going to have them help the children do hopping, running, skipping, jumping, and other physical activities. Then the other groups are taking care of the preschool yard and caring for the playground equipment. They're also going to be doing, there's another group that just donated a lot of money to make a youth activity center. They gave it to their city to do this. And let me see if I'm the next one. Okay, this is the playground equipment here that they're working on. Then another group of doing outside stuff. This group actually purchased a snow machine. They gave it to the city, and the city operates it and blows snow on this one hill so the children can go sledding. And then the club here was handing out hot chocolate to the groups. And this one group actually did a story book walk. They knew the author, it was a local author. They were able to take the pictures of the storybook, put them on real estate signs, and make this path so that the children could go read page 1 together, then go and read page 2 together. Obviously here it's a nice sunny day, but they also did it in the winter when the weather was a little bit different. And then the final one that I'm talking about is the free ice skating that one of the groups did to help the children do their exercise.
Great. So this year, because this is Governor Fran's project, and Fran is only going to be governor for 1 year, there's a special banner patch available for any club that does participate in this challenge project. And we had these requirements, and I'm going to go through them again. The first one is it should be a new project. It has to be something you haven't done before, or some way that you expanded upon a project you hadn't done, that you've done before, but something, a different segment of that particular project. The clubs must submit a description of the project to their lieutenant governor and to Governor Fran at the 2021 Spring Divisional. That's the second requirement. The third one is that there will be a poster that they will display at the 2021 District Convention, and the clubs will submit their information sheet. Also, there's an information sheet. I think, Fran, do you have a picture of that? Yeah. It looks like this, where it tells what you did, who you worked with, how you chose this project, about how many children were served. Would you do it again? Just kind of this information. And the reason for this is, as you can see, we've presented some really good ideas this year. And we're hoping that some other clubs will say, oh, our club could do something like that in our community. And so this information sheet would be a way to jumpstart that project so that you don't have to sit there and figure out, now, where do I begin? What should I do? How much will this cost? It's all there. So clubs will be handing out these information sheets at the district convention as well. And because of the COVID situation and some various things that have been going on, we have decided to extend the deadline for presenting the information sheet to May 8th, which is the date of the last spring divisional in Michigan. So if you've already had your spring divisional and for some reason your club just couldn't quite come up with a project or wasn't sure how to get started on it, but now you've had some time to think about it and you'd like to do it, you still can earn that banner patch if you get the information into Governor Fran by May 8th.
What was interesting, just going on the same, I was on a club meeting today, and they actually did a project at Christmas time, but they weren't aware of it. The project is having to hand the information in. So they're going to get the information to me and we'll present it at one of their, because they already had their spring divisional, we'll present it at one of the other spring divisionals. So then they'll be qualified to do the patch.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you're wondering why we chose Children Are Our Future as our title, I love Whitney Houston's song, The Greatest Love of All, and we went with using her theme. We had all kinds of intentions of playing that song all over the place, that you people would be, tired of it by now, but they're just going to show the words. It's, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. And remember, kids need Kiwanis. Right. And in conclusion, if you have any questions, we'll open it up for discussion. Okay.
So I want to thank Fran and Nancy for joining us today. I know that they have a commitment to move on to a couple spring divisionals here shortly. So we're excited about the aspect that they could jump on quickly and make our presentation. And then Nancy, are you able to stay around a little bit for
yes, I'll be
questions?
Here for a while. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So we'll do that. And we will let Fran go to her spring divisional. But as you can tell, there's a lot of great projects going on in the Michigan district. And I think it's great that this information is available to everyone. And, as they both have said, here's your opportunity to learn what other clubs are doing, but also to get a jump start on something that you can do for yourself. So thank you, both of you, for presenting today.